Welcome to Flash Summary
5-minute flash sum
of the movie Prey, came out in 2022, directed by Dan Trachtenberg, starring Amber Midthunder. That's a pretty badass name, and Dakota Beavers.
Sick name.
And the Predator. Anyway, it's pretty sick. We're going to describe it to you guys in just a couple of minutes here. 5 minutes on the clock. Let me pull up my notes. And so we will have 5 minutes to summarize the entire film, start to finish. Joe and I are going to round robin this. One person goes, then the next person goes. Joe, do you want to start or finish?
I'll start.
Okay.
And finish, actually.
All right, you get 3 segments. Perfect.
All right.
Send it.
Tell me when.
I will give you let's see here, a timer. 5 minutes, starting in 3, 2, 1.
It is 1719 in the northern Great Plains of what will soon to be America. Naru, a young Comanche woman, wants to be a warrior like her brother Tabe. She, though, is a medicine woman and is expected to fulfill her womanly duties by going out and collecting berries and other fruits and vegetables that can be found. So one day she goes out to collect berries, but she's kind of over it, and so she goes hunting for a deer. She's made herself a sweet little axe, tomahawk, retrievable rope thing, and she chases down this deer. It does get away, but while she's out and about, she sees light flash across the sky and maybe a ship from outer space arrive. She thinks it's a spirit.
A Thunderbird.
That the Predator has arrived. She heads back to camp, and they find that a cougar has taken one of the boys. She helps Tabe and the other young men track it. They find the guy, and she gives him this herb to cool his blood and slow his bleeding. And then they start to bring him back, but Tabe continues to look for the cougar. Meanwhile, as they're going back, Naru finds this footprint. Oh, Matt, take over.
She finds a crazy footprint, and they don't know what it is. And she's like, I need to get after that, I guess. So then they go and, let's see here. Yep. So then they go and they chase down the lion. They find some scat. They find that guy. They send him back to camp, and then they go up to a tree and they start she suggests they set a trap for this lion. So they hang some meat, and then she hides in the tree. The lion climbs up. She's face to face with the lion with the spear, just as she planned. But then she hears a strange noise she's never heard before in the forest, and she stabs the lion as she falls out of the tree and hits her head. She wakes up back at her camp, and her mom is kind of, I don't know, being a little snarky at her. Basically your brother doesn't need your help. He's got it. He went out to hunt the lion. And then, a couple minutes later, her brother comes back with the lion, dead, and the head, taken care of, and he gets a bunch of honor for it. Joe?
All right, so Naru's pissed off at this point, and she still wants to prove herself as a warrior, so she sneaks off with her dog, Sadi, and they go hunting this beast. They do run into a bear, and they get in a badass, crazy fight, getting chased around by this bear. She hides in a beaver dam. Meanwhile, the bear's trying to break in, but the Predator shows up and wrecks this bear, rips its head out of its spine, and then Naru escapes. She goes downriver and is trying to head back to camp she's just trying to make it on her own. When some boys from camp track her down, they want to bring her back to camp. She's like, no, I'm still tracking this thing. Predator shows up, finds them, and then
attacks them. And they basically make fun of her for believing in a ghost. And then while they're doing that, he shoots an animal, and that's when the Predator's like, oh, cool, we're doing ranged weapons now? And then destroys them all. And then they run off into this field, and the Predator is chasing them. And then she gets caught by trappers? Yep, French trappers. And she is in the French trappers camp, and they're like, hey, they're also seem to be hunting the Predator. And they're trying to figure out something. They're trying to figure out information from Naru and her brother, and they torture her brother, and it doesn't go super well. They don't really get any of the information they want. And then this is when they tie them to a tree into basically in this burnt out part of the forest, so that way they can hunt down the Predator and use them as bait Joe, take us home. We got 1 minute.
The French trappers use Tabe and Naru as bait, but little do they know that they're actually the bait. The predator shows up, absolutely smokes all the Frenchmen in the most badass ways.
Yeah, the bullets do not affect him at all.
Nope, just wrecks them. He makes easy work of all these probably 30 French trappers. And then Tabe and Naru escape. They bust out of their little rope binds and run over this camp. At this point, Naru figures out that the herb works to cool the body temperature so the predator can't see you. Tabe gets killed by the predator. Naru sets a trap for the predator, and they get in a nice little finale battle, and she ends up using the predator's tracer arrows to trap it. She traps it in the mud pit and then uses its own arrows to smoke itself straight through the face with an arrow, and then takes its skull back home to camp.
That's it. Predator, prey in 5 minutes. Joe, you did it. We did it. We're here. Congratulations, everybody. Woo!